For nearly 30 years, I drank the same cup of coffee every morning. A warm ritual that felt like comfort, routine, and energy. My faithful friend in a mug. The smell was nostalgic. The taste was familiar. I never thought to question it. Until one morning, my doctor showed me something shocking. My cholesterol had jumped. My kidney numbers were worse. And my memory lapses were no longer just senior moments. He asked a simple question. "What kind of coffee do you drink?" I told him. He sighed. "You might think coffee is the problem," he said. "But it's not. It's the kind of coffee you drink after 60. And what's hiding in it." That conversation changed everything, because it turns out millions of older adults, just like you and me, are drinking coffees every single day that may silently raise blood pressure, damage kidneys, spike cholesterol, and even increase stroke risk. And the worst part? They're the kinds we think are healthy. Low sugar, creamy, decaf, natural. But behind those innocent labels are chemical solvents, petroleum byproducts, artery-blocking fats, and brain-draining additives that no one warns us about, until it's too late. Now, here's the real wake-up call. Recent research has uncovered that one popular type of coffee can raise your LDL, bad cholesterol, by 45 points in just 4 weeks. That's enough to tip someone from borderline to high risk in just a month. Another common coffee preparation increases your risk of stroke by 72%, especially in older adults with already stiff arteries or heart issues. And yet, these products are still lining grocery store shelves, still being advertised as heart-healthy, still being served to seniors every day in homes, hospitals, and breakfast counters across America. It's not your fault. You weren't told. No one warned you. The truth is buried under clever branding and outdated advice. So in today's video, we're doing what Big Coffee won't. We'll uncover the 4 worst coffees for people over 60. The ones that seem harmless, but may quietly be draining your energy, memory, and heart health. Then we'll flip the script and show you 4 evidence-backed coffee upgrades that can protect your brain, improve your joints, stabilize blood sugar, and actually support your heart. This isn't marketing fluff. It's science, with real stories, real people, and practical shifts you can start tomorrow morning without giving up the joy of your favorite brew. So, before you take your next sip, ask yourself, do you know what's really in your cup? And a quick favor before we begin, just drop a comment below. What kind of coffee do you drink every day? Do you ever drink it on an empty stomach? I read and reply to every single comment, and I'll give you personalized tips based on what you're drinking. Now let's get into it. Because the number 4 worst coffee? It smells amazing. It's sold everywhere. But for people over 60, it may be quietly poisoning your kidneys. Let's be clear about one thing before we dive into the worst offenders. Coffee isn't the enemy. Not even close. In fact, when chosen wisely and brewed the right way, coffee can become one of the most powerful health tools in your day. The real danger? It's what gets added to coffee. It's how it's processed. And it's the brewing shortcuts that slowly turn a healthy drink into a hidden health risk, especially after 60. See, as we age, our bodies don't filter chemicals and fats the same way. Our arteries lose elasticity. Our kidneys slow down. Our brains rely more and more on steady energy and clean nutrients. So, while a clean, antioxidant-rich cup can support your memory, joints, and metabolism, a poorly made or processed one can quietly chip away at those same areas. That's why this video isn't about giving up coffee. It's about getting smart about what's in your mug. So instead of saying, "I've always done it this way," ask yourself, is this cup working for me or quietly working against me? Because a simple switch in your daily brew could mean the difference between a cup that steals your energy and one that protects it. Let's take a look at the first dangerous type and why it's quietly wrecking your kidneys. Let's start with one of the most tempting culprits: flavored instant coffee mixes. You've seen them on every grocery store shelf. Hazelnut, French vanilla, mocha. They smell like dessert. They promise convenience. Some even claim to be sugar-free or vitamin-fortified. But behind the cozy packaging, trouble. What makes these mixes so risky, especially after 60? First, they're loaded with chemical stabilizers and petroleum-based ingredients, like propylene glycol. It's used to help the flavors dissolve smoothly. Sounds harmless enough, right? But here's the catch. Propylene glycol is the same chemical used in antifreeze. And as we get older, our kidneys, already working harder, can struggle to clear it from the bloodstream. Over time, those tiny toxic buildups can stress your kidneys, disrupt your metabolism, and quietly damage your liver. You may not feel it at first, but fatigue, bloating, or trouble concentrating might already be signs. In fact, a 2022 study from the European Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors who drank flavored instant coffee daily had a 39% higher risk of developing insulin resistance, a leading cause of type 2 diabetes. And it doesn't stop there. These packets often hide trans fats under names like hydrogenated palm oil. You've probably heard this before. Trans fats are among the worst for your heart. They raise LDL cholesterol and increase the buildup of plaque in your arteries. That's a dangerous combination when you're over 60 and already facing natural stiffening in blood vessels. A long-term study in the American Journal of Clinical Lipidology tracked over 1,400 seniors and found that those consuming hydrogenated creamers daily had a 28% higher risk of heart attack. And if that weren't enough, the fake sweeteners, like sucralose or acesulfame potassium, can disturb your gut microbiome. That delicate balance of good bacteria is key to keeping inflammation low, digestion strong, and your immune system sharp. So, what can you do instead? Instead of grabbing that flavored mix, take your coffee back to basics, with flavor from real food. Try a dash of cinnamon, a drop of pure vanilla extract, even a spoonful of unsweetened cocoa powder. You still get a rich, satisfying flavor, but without the hidden toxins. Remember, coffee should energize your morning, not quietly rob your health. It's not about giving up flavor. It's about choosing ingredients that love your body back. For many folks over 60, coffee doesn't feel complete without something creamy. And if you're lactose intolerant or trying to avoid dairy, it might seem like non-dairy creamers are the smart choice. But here's the truth that rarely makes it to the label. Most artificial creamers are chemical cocktails in disguise. They may look harmless, even appealing, but the ingredients hiding inside? They're anything but friendly to an aging body. Let's start with one of the worst offenders: titanium dioxide. It's a whitening agent used to give that familiar milky swirl. It's also used in paint. A 2021 study in the Journal of Toxicological Sciences found that titanium dioxide caused oxidative stress and DNA damage in human cells in just 4 weeks. Now, imagine exposing your body to that every morning, year after year. Then there are hydrogenated oils, rich in omega-6 fats. Now, don't get me wrong, your body needs some omega-6, but too much, especially without enough omega-3 to balance it, leads to inflammation. In fact, one study published in Aging Cell found that seniors with high omega-6 levels scored 31% lower on memory tests. That's not just a number. That's forgetting names. That's losing clarity. That's the early slipping of independence. Now throw in corn syrup solids and maltodextrin, two processed sugars that spike blood sugar almost instantly. Within minutes, your energy crashes, your brain fog sets in, and your body stores the excess as belly fat. That's why, for seniors, non-dairy creamers aren't just empty calories. They're hidden health traps. So what can you do instead? Instead of fake creamers, try a splash of organic full-fat milk. Yes, even after 60. The healthy fats help absorb fat-soluble vitamins, especially vitamin D. Or go with unsweetened almond or oat milk, fortified with calcium and B vitamins. Better yet, learn to enjoy your coffee black, with maybe a touch of pink Himalayan salt to smooth the flavor. You'll still get a rich, satisfying cup, but you'll skip the brain fog, the inflammation, and the chemical load your kidneys don't need. Because at this stage of life, your body deserves real nourishment. Not a daily dose of paint thickener and corn syrup disguised as creamer. Now, let's talk about a type of coffee many seniors switch to in hopes of being safer. Decaf. No jitters, no racing heart, and for anyone watching their blood pressure, it seems like a good call. But here's the surprise. Not all decaf is safe. In fact, many supermarket decaf brands are made using a chemical solvent called methylene chloride. That's the same chemical used in paint stripper and metal degreaser. And while the industry claims it burns off during roasting, independent testing shows residue can still remain, up to 10 parts per million in some popular brands. Now, the FDA allows that amount. But legal doesn't always mean safe, especially if you're over 60 and drinking it every day. Why is methylene chloride so concerning? Because it's a probable human carcinogen, according to the EPA. And it doesn't just sit in your gut. It can cross the blood-brain barrier, the shield that protects your brain from toxins. Once inside, it disrupts your mitochondria, the tiny power plants in your brain cells. And without enough energy, brain fog creeps in. Memory slips, confusion, even symptoms that mimic early dementia. One viewer, Marion from Ohio, shared her story. She drank the same name-brand decaf for 15 years. Her thinking got slower. She couldn't focus like she used to. Her daughter finally had her switch to a Swiss water process decaf, chemical-free. And in just 2 weeks, Marion said, it was like the fog lifted. But the damage from solvent-based decaf isn't limited to the brain. Your liver and kidneys, which naturally slow with age, are the ones stuck trying to filter those residues. Over time, that adds up to more stress, more wear, and a greater risk of long-term organ decline. So what's the better way? Instead of chemical decaf, look for labels that say Swiss water process, mountain water process, or simply methylene chloride free. And if you want to go the extra mile, choose organic, so you're also avoiding pesticide residues that add another layer of chemical exposure. Yes, these coffees cost a bit more, but so does medication. So do hospital visits. And if one small shift gives you clearer thinking, steadier energy, and stronger organs, it's worth every penny. Because your coffee should never include the same ingredients found under your kitchen sink. Now, here's the twist that catches most folks off guard. You might think the most dangerous coffee is loaded with sugar or artificial creamer, but it's not. The real danger, for people over 60, is the coffee that seems the most natural. I'm talking about unfiltered boiled coffee. That includes French press, Turkish coffee, Scandinavian brews, and mocha pots, anything that skips a paper filter. At first glance, these methods feel pure, rustic, even healthy. But what they don't filter out is something called café stol, a natural oil in coffee that directly raises your LDL, or bad cholesterol. And this isn't just theory. A 2020 study in the European Journal of Preventive Cardiology found that people who drank unfiltered boiled coffee had a 30% higher risk of dying from heart disease compared to those who used filtered methods. Even more alarming, for adults over 60, LDL cholesterol spiked by up to 45 milligrams per deciliter in just 4 weeks of daily unfiltered coffee. That's enough to turn a manageable condition into a major concern, especially for anyone with high blood pressure, plaque buildup, or heart medications in their cabinet. And it doesn't stop there. Unfiltered coffee also delivers more acidic compounds and concentrated coffee oils, which can irritate the stomach lining. For many older adults, that means acid reflux, indigestion, or even ulcers. Over time, this constant inflammation in the gut weakens nutrient absorption, and your immune system along with it. Plus, there's another risk hiding in the background. Many traditional brewing tools, especially older mocha pots and Turkish coffee sets, are made with aluminum or uncoated metals. When exposed to boiling water, these metals can leach into your brew, and with slower kidney filtration in older age, that buildup becomes harder to clear, raising your toxic load every single day. So what's the fix? Instead of unfiltered methods, use a drip machine or pour-over system with a paper filter. That thin sheet may not look like much, but it traps up to 95% of the café stol, while still letting through the antioxidants that protect your heart. Love your French press too much to give it up? Insert a paper disc filter inside, or alternate it with filtered coffee a few times a week. You still get your rich, bold flavor, but without the cholesterol spike. Because after 60, it's not just about how your coffee tastes. It's about what it leaves behind in your body. Filtered coffee means clearer arteries, gentler digestion, and one less hidden threat to your heart. That's not just a brewing choice. That's a life-extending habit. Now, after hearing about the worst offenders, you might be wondering, is coffee even worth drinking anymore? And that's a fair question. But here's the good news. Coffee isn't the enemy. In fact, when chosen wisely, it can become one of your most powerful daily health allies. Instead of draining your energy, the right kind of coffee can support your memory. Instead of spiking your cholesterol, it can calm inflammation. Instead of wearing down your organs, it can help protect them. So don't give up your morning cup. Just upgrade it. Because the truth is, the right coffee, brewed the right way, can support your heart, mind, and muscles well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. Let's flip the script. Let's look at the 4 best coffees for seniors over 60. One's backed by science and built for strength. If there's one coffee that deserves a place in your kitchen starting tomorrow morning, it's this: Organic Medium Roast Arabica. Now, why Arabica? Because it's naturally higher in chlorogenic acid, a powerful antioxidant that helps reduce inflammation and improve how your body processes sugar. That means more stable blood sugar, less joint pain, and better energy throughout the day. A 2021 study published in Nutrients found that seniors who drank 2 cups of Arabica daily had a 27% lower risk of type 2 diabetes and significantly reduced inflammation markers. That's not hype. That's real science. But it's not just the bean that matters. It's the roast, too. Why medium? Because medium roast keeps more of those healthy antioxidants intact, without creating the burnt, acidic byproducts found in dark roast. The flavor stays smooth, the acidity is gentle on the stomach, and you still get that comforting aroma and rich body. But there's one more piece to this puzzle that's easy to overlook: the water. If you're brewing coffee with unfiltered tap water, you might be adding heavy metals like lead or copper, along with chlorine, straight into your cup. And over time, those contaminants can quietly burden your kidneys and brain, especially if your filtration systems are already slowing with age. That's why the full power of this coffee only shows up when it's brewed with clean, filtered water. So instead of starting your day with burnt, over-processed beans and tap water, choose Arabica, medium roast, organic, with filtered water. This one shift can help protect your heart, ease inflammation, and support steadier energy. All from a single cup. If regular hot coffee sometimes upsets your stomach, gives you heartburn, or leaves you jittery, you're not alone. So what if I told you there's a smoother, gentler, and even more nutritious way to enjoy coffee every morning? It's called cold brew concentrate. And no, it's not just a trendy cafe drink. It's one of the most senior-friendly forms of coffee out there. Why? Because cold brew is made without heat. Instead of boiling the beans, it steeps them in cold filtered water for 12 to 24 hours. That process lowers the acidity by up to 70%. That means less heartburn, fewer gut issues, and smoother digestion, especially for anyone managing reflux or gastritis. In fact, a study out of Mount Sinai looked at seniors with acid reflux and found that 89% could drink cold brew without symptoms, even if hot coffee triggered problems for years. But gentleness isn't the only benefit. Cold brew also preserves more antioxidants, particularly chlorogenic acids and melanoidins, which help protect the heart, support blood vessels, and reduce age-related vision decline. You also get more magnesium, up to 250% more than hot brewed coffee, which is critical for muscle function, heart rhythm, and bone strength after 60. And here's a hidden perk: control. Because it's a concentrate, you can dilute it to your liking. 1 part concentrate to 3 parts water for a gentle boost, or 1-to-1 if you want it bolder. Plus, it stores well. Make a batch once, keep it in the fridge for up to 2 weeks. Or freeze it into ice cubes and just drop a few into water or milk. No hassle, no brewing. So instead of wrestling with acidic, stomach-churning hot coffee every morning, try cold brew. It's smoother, stronger, and better built for bodies over 60. What if your morning coffee could do more than just wake you up? What if it could actually help you walk easier, climb stairs without pain, and feel more stable on your feet? That's exactly what happens when you stir collagen peptides into your coffee. Now, you might be wondering, why collagen? Here's the truth. After 50, your body starts losing collagen, about 1 to 1.5% per year. By the time you're in your 60s, that loss adds up, and it shows up as creaky joints, slower healing, stiffer movement, and even sagging skin or muscle weakness. But when you add hydrolyzed collagen peptides to your coffee, you're giving your body the exact amino acids it needs to rebuild connective tissue. We're talking about glycine and proline, two powerhouses for joint flexibility, bone density, and muscle strength. In a 2020 study from the Journal of Clinical Nutrition *, seniors who took 10 grams of collagen daily showed a 40% improvement in mobility, less joint pain, and even stronger bones in the hips. And here's the best part. Collagen peptides dissolve instantly in hot coffee. They're tasteless, odorless, and completely heat-stable. That means you don't have to change your coffee routine. You just upgrade it. Instead of plain black coffee that gives you energy but no long-term support, you get energy plus strength, flexibility, and healthier aging, all in one cup. Make sure you choose grass-fed bovine or wild-caught marine collagen that's third-party tested for purity. Then, just stir in 1 scoop to your medium roast Arabica and sip knowing you're not just fueling your brain, you're rebuilding your body. Because after 60, every step you take, every joint you bend, every time you get up without pain, that's quality of life. And your coffee can help get you there. What if your coffee could sharpen your brain, balance your blood sugar, and help you maintain muscle? All in a single scoop? That's exactly what happens when you upgrade your cup with MCT oil and Ceylon cinnamon. Let's start with MCT oil. MCT stands for medium-chain triglycerides, a healthy fat derived from coconut oil. Unlike regular fats, MCTs are absorbed fast and sent directly to your liver, where they're turned into ketones. Why does this matter? Because after 60, the brain's ability to use glucose slows down. That's why many seniors experience foggy thinking, slower recall, or lack of focus. But ketones give your brain an alternative, cleaner fuel. And that shift can make a dramatic difference. In a 2021 study published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience seniors who added MCT oil to their diet showed a 31% improvement in working memory in just 8 weeks. Now pair that with Ceylon cinnamon, the true cinnamon. Unlike the common cassia cinnamon, Ceylon is lower in coumarin and safe for daily use. It's rich in cinnamaldehyde, a compound shown to improve insulin sensitivity, boost circulation, and reduce inflammation. In a 2022 meta-analysis, daily Ceylon cinnamon used lowered fasting blood sugar by 18 kcal and reduced triglycerides by up to 30%. Now imagine what happens when you put both in your coffee. You're not just drinking caffeine. You're giving your brain fuel, stabilizing your metabolism, and supporting lean muscle retention. How to do it? Brew your medium roast Arabica with filtered water. Add 1 teaspoon of MCT oil. Stir in 1/2 teaspoon of ground Ceylon cinnamon. Blend it if you want it frothy, or stir and sip it smooth. Instead of starting your day with empty energy from sugar and carbs, fuel your body and brain with something that truly lasts. Because after 60, staying sharp and strong isn't about working harder. It's about choosing smarter. So now you know, not all coffees are created equal. Some silently raise your cholesterol. Others sneak in toxins that wear down your brain, kidneys, and heart. But now, you have the power to choose differently. Instead of drinking whatever's cheapest or most convenient, you can choose coffee that actually supports your health. Coffee that strengthens your joints, sharpens your memory, and fuels your day without the crash. 4 bad coffees to avoid, 4 great ones to embrace. And none of them require you to give up your favorite ritual. You just need to switch the beans, the brew, or the blend. So tomorrow morning, before that first sip, ask yourself, is this cup working for me or against me? Because one small change in your mug could lead to years of better mobility, better clarity, and better living. If this video opened your eyes, hit the like button. If you've got a friend or loved one over 60 who loves their coffee, share this with them. And if you want more health-backed strategies like this, subscribe to It's Better Health and turn on notifications. Your health is in your hands, and it starts right in your cup.